Okay, so you're a great worker. You've been at the job for a really long time. You're having an ordinary morning. You show up at the job. What do you see on your desk? Uh, 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 a pink slip. What? Happens to a lot of people. I know how it feels personally. Or you get a letter in the mail out of nowhere, out of the blue, and you notice some things have been budget cut from your life. What? Not fun. By the way, before we get into it, hi, Steve, from the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel. How are you today?
I'm good, Jan. How are you? Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I'm good too. But you know what, Steve? I really want to play my intro. I just want to remind everyone I'm going to attempt to play my intro that everybody loves. If it doesn't play, Steve and I are just going to start talking about this very important matter. Hopefully, the
Okay.
intro will play. We'll be back in a minute. Did you hear it at all on your end, the music?
Yes, I did. But for some reason, your mic went muted and I couldn't
Steve?
hear you.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when we play a video clip. It automatically mutes the mic. I have no control over that. Steve, the main thing is you are here, and I cannot tell you how delighted I am personally that you are here today. Thank you so very, very much.
Sure.
And Steve, I know about three people lately, maybe four, that recently received not a fun letter in the mail, Steve, because from their EBT, from their SNAP benefit, I'm not saying that this is across the board. There are a few people including someone else that I know, right, Steve, that got about a $50 or $52 cut reduction from. Okay, I see your hand is up, and you have discussed this on another show. But for
Yes, I
anybody
did.
that is brand new here, welcome, welcome, Steve. How are you handling or plan to handle that cut because it does affect things?
Yeah. For one, I will be making less trips to the grocery store. One example, unless something that I use goes on sale, unless I see a good sale, I'm not going to go after it. But what I plan on doing before, I like to buy seltzer water. I usually buy it in a 24. I get 24 can. Usually, when I get about halfway down or two-thirds of the way down, about 18, I will start going to the store. If I see it, I'll buy it. I'm not doing that this time. This time, I'm going to wait until I'm down to about two or three cans before. What that's going to do is that's going to move me further in the month before I make a trip over to the grocery store. But like I said, if I see a sale, that's different. But what I'm going to do is wait and prolong my use of my EBT until I actually really need something instead of just going to get it.
Yeah, I really like that idea because
Yeah.
I myself have mentioned to people in the past, many times people make a once weekly trip to the grocery store. But to me, it makes more logical sense to cut back on the trips. Example, instead of four trips a month on a weekly basis, why not cut it down to three every 10 days? Whereas it forces people to use up the stuff that's hiding in the back of the refrigerator, for example, to slow down the spending. Steve,
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea.
Well, I mean, it's not a drastic, cut to me what happened. Um so they took away 52. which means all I've got to do is per week, I just got to spend 13 less, which is really not that bad when you break it down 13, 13, 13. I mean, 52 all at once sounds like a lot. Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, $52 worth of groceries. I mean, that is a little bit that is no longer there. So I'm gonna have to compensate from the amount that I had versus what I've just currently
I
got.
like your attitude. I love your attitude about that because attitude is half the battle won. So basically what you did was take like a kind of problem or an issue, but you diced it up and minced it up into livable pieces by saying, "Wow," instead of saying, "Wow, they chunked out $52 out of my monthly, allotment." No, what you said is key. You chopped
Mhm.
it down to about 12, $13 a week that
A week.
just
It's 13 times 4. Well, whatever amount of weeks there is in the month of April. So whatever, let me see, I could actually factor that in right quick. Actually, I need to know this anyway, so it's not a waste of me looking it up. So April has one, two, three, yeah, about 4 weeks, maybe just 1 or 2 days above, but still, I'm gonna break it down to about $13 a week. They took away 52, 13 times 4, that will set me, and whatever I don't use, it almost works like my budget strategy. It carries over.
right,
What I don't use,
right.
it, I'll wind up having 20. It'll actually work a little bit to my advantage for what days that I don't use it. So it's
And
like a,
from my recollection, yes, go ahead, Steve.
no, I was gonna say right quick, all it is a one hand washes the other type effect. It's kind of a little bit of a give and take is how it's gonna
That's
break down.
smart because from my
Yeah.
recollection, you were wise enough to always try to carry a little bit over because of moments like that when you get unexpected correspondence saying, "Okay, that sure beats that you did carry someone over, if I'm not mistaken." And that's very, very helpful. That way, you're always
Yes, I
ahead of the
do.
game. Steve's not going to be behind the game. Steve will forever be ahead of the game because he took that minute or two in the past to think, wait a minute, I'm going to spread this out. Steve, how do you feel about no spend days or no spend weeks? What's your thought on that?
Nothing wrong with no spend days or weeks. I mean, there's things that, well, one that involves being at home so you don't go out. So, I mean, if you think about it, well, TV, like I said, does have its moments. But if you got certain things you like to watch, television, you like movies, music is another thing I like my music. I love it as all get out. But there's ways that you can do things around the house that you don't have to go out, and that'll save you some money. A lot of people don't like to do it. I'm old school. Drag out a game of Scrabble. I'll play it.
I love
I'm
that.
good
I
with
think
that.
there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's a lot of fun, actually. You can interact with
Yeah,
friends, family, or break out the popcorn and put on a favorite movie. We have so many options today. It's not even funny. Free
right.
options
Mhm.
as well. So no spend days are livable days. So let's say a person is in the habit of shopping 4 times a month, for example. So let's say they have a no spend shopping at the grocery store week. Narrow it down. That could be extremely helpful to the person that has sudden income loss of any kind. You're ahead of you see, Steve continues to be ahead of the game. He's
I
never
try.
going to fall behind.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
try. I always try. I always try to stay at least 1 to 2 steps ahead. So the only thing I can do to make up for my $52 negative there, no fault of mine, is I've just got to cut it back $13 a week. But let's say that one week I don't go to the store, it actually benefits me because I have a little bit more to work with. I didn't think about
Yes.
that, but it actually gives me a little bit extra in addition to work with rather than take away from me. So
So, in other words, you're shopping, but with great intention. It's not like random, oh, I'm just going to walk in the store and out of the air, take this, take that, and
No,
that's it.
I never do that anyway, but no, no.
No.
Anytime I go shopping, I know well, one, I always here's another thing that helps. This is a good grocery tip that helps me especially, and I recommend anybody that shops before they go to do this. Look at your weekly ads. Look and see what's on sale. A lot of the time, if you work around what's on sale, you can still have good quality, decent meals. It may not always be exactly what you want, but work around the weekly ads. I have an app that's really good. I don't know if I downloaded it on here. It might be on one of my other phones where you can actually go and you put in your zip code and look up. It can be Home Depot, it can be Lowe's, it can be grocery stores in my area, which would be Winn-Dixie, Aldi, Harvey's, Publix, places like that, Rose IGA. And I can put that in, and it'll literally give me the weekly ad for that week. I can look at each store, boom, 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 as I go down.
So it's like the
And
Flips app. It's like the Flips
that's
app.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
one. Right. Thank you for mentioning that. That's the app.
Well, you're the one that
FLFLE.
recommended it to us maybe a few shows back, and I can't
Yeah,
forget that name. I love that name.
that was it. For some reason it
I
didn't
think there are two
register.
P's on it. Flips, Flipp.
Right,
So I always
FLIPP.
get
That is
that. So
correct.
you don't have to scout around for circulars. You don't have to get in your car and look for a circular.
No,
No.
just follow the prompts. Put in your zip code. It's going to give you a breakdown of all the different stores you like to shop at. So you just select what you want, and then all the weekly ads is just going to one in in a
And
row. I
it's
mean,
tailor made for your neighborhood. Reading stuff that may be applicable to where I am would make no sense to somebody in Nebraska
well,
because
no,
there are subtle differences from place to place.
yeah.
I
I
like
even
that it breaks it down to
Yeah,
locality.
another couple of stores I think that is on there as well as Walmart and Target. I think that's
Right?
also there too. So,
Right.
but it gives you just type in your zip, and pretty much all of your grocery stores that you have in your area is going to
Yes.
show up, and you just select. And it doesn't
Amazing.
even have to be grocery store. It can be department
No,
stores. It could be
that's right.
you know a mixture.
That's
You'd have
wonderful.
to you have you
That's
would
a
have
good
to
app, and
down
I really appreciate you bringing it up.
you'd have to download the app, and you would have to go and look for it yourself, and you'll see what I mean. Once you put in your zip, it gives you a breakdown, and then you just select
Absolutely.
what you want.
Absolutely. See, these are the little things that add up and help during those difficult times. It also helps to have a budget buffer. For those that do
Yeah.
not know what a budget buffer is, please refer back to my one of my recent videos that gets into it a lot. Also, to mention, Steve recently put out a video about something that causes leaky wallet syndrome. No, 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 no. And it has to do with a
Oh,
favorite banking feature that some people so believe in, not really, right?
I don't. I'm not gonna give it away, but I
No,
will.
no.
Well, actually, I know this particular banking feature. I don't opt for it. I don't. In
I'm
fact, I
afraid
tell
of that banking feature. Tell you the truth, I'm afraid of it. I wouldn't want it. I don't want to use it.
yeah. So if you haven't checked out that video, I definitely encourage.
Steve, would it be
Um,
okay if I'm going to hook that one up in my description? Your
sure.
recent, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That's fine.
So there are ways and there are ways. First of all, I hope no one gets that kind of a letter. I hope no one walks up to their desk and finds a pink slip. But this is real life. I was a wonderful employee. I had perfect track record, and myself and my department in a well-known hospital in New York City. One day, it was Valentine's Day, Steve, 1997, after a Valentine's party that I planned for that office, and everyone had a great time. Well, they called us in, Steve, one at a time, and with their little smiles on their little faces, gave us all the acts. I'll never forget that afternoon.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was devastated, devastated. I don't know how I didn't get run over by a truck, because when I walked out of that building and walked to get home, my mind was so far away. It was just not even to be believed. I'm like, I'm a great employee. It had nothing to do with the workers. It had to do with the problem in management. They were
Oh,
having a problem. Yeah. So they cleaned out a whole department, went bye bye, just like that. Very not fun. Steve, did I have an
well,
emergency fund waiting for me? Yes. And I thank God that I did. But
well,
that's its
just
own show.
well, remember something too. Most people forget. I had something told to me by a relative. Not that I'm trying to put this relative on the spot. It was Christmas, probably I think of 2018, if I remember. Might have been 17. I can't recall. And I was told that I have an unstable future. Well, no, I don't, because unstable future does not just apply to me. I'll tell you why. What did you just mention? You walked in and you got
Yeah,
the axe out of,
it's
okay.
okay. Okay.
The
Whole
reason why
department wiped out.
the whole department, okay, the reason why I say I bring up this unstable future, that applies to anybody. Why?
Yes.
You can be driving an Audi A7 or A8 car, and tomorrow or a week from now it's getting repossessed. Nobody lives in a stable future. None of us.
Now,
So be
that's
so
why you were so right.
well, I just picked that car at random, random or everywhere, like my channel, random. But anyway, the thing is, never take anything for granted.
No.
You can be living the high life one day, and you could be down to rags the next. So don't think
No.
when it comes to unstable future that happens to anybody.
Right. Squirrel your funds away. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah,
If I don't know what would have happened if that emergency fund cushion wasn't waiting there. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one thinks that, oh, but I have a great job. Oh, I love these people. Oh, they love
that's
my
it.
work. Everything was great. That was not the perfect storm for the department to go bye bye,
Yeah,
just like that.
yeah.
We were devastated, Steve. We were like,
Oh, I
forget
can
it.
imagine. Yeah.
Very not fun. Well, Steve, I want to thank you so very much. You have anything else you want to add before we go?
No, not right off. You know,
I have something to add about your channel. He is a rent. Steve, go to Steve everywhere with Steve Young74 channel. It's a random channel. You'll never be bored. Many times I'm on his show, but not all the time. You got to listen to his stuff. His stuff is great. And please don't hesitate to give Steve a super thanks. And don't forget to like his channel. And especially now that his EBT was cut by $52. I'm saying it, not Steve. I'm requesting if you'd be so kind to throw him a super thanks. Hope you don't mind I said it, Steve.
no, I appreciate that.
All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I would like to say do this. I don't know if it'll work. Hang on. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't.
You're good. I got it.
Thanks so much for being here. We really do appreciate your time. Bye bye,
Hmm.
everyone. Bye,
Bye, Cam.
Steve.
Bye, everybody.